Hey, I'm Laidback Luke, DJ and producer from the Netherlands. It's always very interesting to me that people pick out the graffiti side of my youth in interviews. Actually, I did graffiti for about 2 years, and then when I got caught as like a teenager, I shift my focus to music. The truth is, I've always been drawing as a kid, and like after puberty, I went on and did graphic design. But the link between music and graphics to me is that I can actually see music in my head as images. I know how a kick drum looks like. I know how a clap looks like. And basically, I have a photographic memory of what tracks look like even. So if I hear a track, I know how it looks like, and therefore know how it sounds like. Well, the thing is, when you make music, it's very hard to explain how to capture a track in one like image, because, and this is why I actually don't enjoy listening to music in my free time, because I hear every single layer that's in there as a separate like a separate unit. It's like asking like chefs to when they eat or taste the menu, they can taste the amount of salt that's in there and taste the like this herb and that herb. And so with music it's the same. So I hear I even hear like the amount of compression they used and the reverb and which plugin that was. And when I hear a track or one track of my own, I see that as like in a painting, and I'm like, oh, it's that kick drum and that clap, and yeah, so it all forms an image. I can even see like the build up and the climaxes and the structure of the track, as well as like an overall thing that hangs above it or something. Well, the way my tracks are being delivered to a crowd doesn't necessarily shift together with the way it looks like. What I am very well aware of is the energy in the music, and what I always try and tend to do is have this little bit of a positive kind of energy in there that I need to come across. Basically, I make tracks that make you want to dance. So, you know, sometimes, and sometimes producers don't get that. You'll hear tracks and it's a track that sounds great in the air, but you don't really want to dance to it. So that's a tricky one for my kind of like DJ sets and tracks I produce. So yeah, no, not so much the visualization of the track, but more of the like what kind of energy and what kind of feeling I put into it matters to me. I'm very much in touch with my visual guys who make my visuals. I'm very picky on what they choose. I often send out a concept, and we go back and forth at least about 10 times before I'm happy with what they try and come across that fits my music. So yeah, I'm very much involved with that as well. At festivals, it's a very much of a tricky thing to actually capture like that fan in the back or the front row altogether. That's very hard, and that's why I really enjoy playing in smaller clubs at the moment, because it's so much easier to do that. And I'm very much a DJ. I come very much unprepared, and I'll just go on the minute or on the second and see what works and see where the energy is and where I can pick it up. And so yeah, at festivals it's hard. It's like an overall kind of like cloud of crowd you need to try and grasp. And you know, sometimes you see that bit jumping and sometimes that bit, and it's just basically trying to capture that whole crowd and make them, you know, go insane. In a club, I can much more tell like a story. I can take them on like a deeper trip, and yeah. So I, as a like an old school DJ, really enjoy clubs because it just goes much deeper. So right now we're celebrating the 100th release of my own record label, Ones to Watch, which is a special platform for new talent that I often discover and try and get to a professional level. Now I have 2 record labels, Mix Mash Records and Ones to Watch, and most of the time my talents want to release on Mix Mash Records. But this 100th release is actually my new single. I made it with Jakarta's own Anger Dimas. And it's me actually saying that Once to Watch record isn't just for new talent. It's actually focused on more of the DJ side of things, whereas Mix Mash is more radio focused. So at the moment we're celebrating that, and I'm very happy we got there. I've actually been coming here since 2001, so I'm a veteran. And through all the layers of my career, it changed for me. So it came from being like a fan of the music to like being a professional name, and then to being a famous DJ, and then to hosting my own events where we're at right now. And I had so many crazy times around here. And for instance, a nice story is me just tagging along with Fedde Le Grand, who had his breakthrough year in 2005. And I was just this friend tagging along, and I remember us getting to Ultra, and you know, he needed to perform and I didn't have a ticket, so I ended up being in the crowd, just like going that like him to him. And so my debut at Ultra Music Festival was in 2010, and it felt like my big break, and I ripped it up, and it set me up for many main stage performances, and yeah, hosting my own events over here as well. We just did Super You and Me at Story in Miami. Today it's our Mix Mash Records label party at the National Hotel. And I'm excited to be back at Ultra on Saturday. You know, I remember trying to get into the Robbie Rivera Juicy party at Nikki Beach back in the day, which was this legendary. It was me and the Swedish House Mafia trying to get in there, and we couldn't get in. And Axel was even playing, and this was the place to be. So, yeah, you know, hanging out with Junior Sanchez and Armand Van Helden back in like 2003, walking drunk on the streets, and yeah, I've been there, done that.